Okay, last time on PeakD&D, the overhead view was of us in a maze, and you could kind of see what we were hunting just a few steps away, but those steps kept changing because it actually wasn't a maze, it was a labyrinth, which we can get into that later, but doesn't matter. And so there was this moving maze, labyrinth, and there were skeletons in a gelatinous cube, and there was a magic door, and we had to find 5 gems, and we did it. And it was awesome. And then Anara, who's not a goddess that we are with, we found this like behind the magic door, and she dropped to her knees and just started saying, "Oh my God, it's her, it's her, it's her."
And welcome back. We are picking up with you guys entering the temple. Anara has fallen to her knees, seemingly recognizing this tomb that you stand in front of, having navigated the maze very well. And she falls to her knees. You hear her whisper to herself, "It's her. It's her. I can't believe it." And she starts just almost in a reverent tone, falling to her knees, and tears stream down her elven features.
So I'm going to tap both of you guys on the shoulders because I'm behind you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like, "Do y'all know who that is?" Her.
Yes. You can see
know who that is. Okay.
on the sepulcher, there's a bas relief of a what looks like an elven woman dressed in robes and sort of carved into the top of this sarcophagus. And there seems to be an inscription across the face of this large box that is a sarcophagus of sorts.
Can I read it?
You can read Elven, right? You understand that. Elven. So as you look at the, now that we're in 0.6 alpha version, you have you spent any language points yet as we read our character sheets?
I mean, so back when it was 0.5,
right?
I had 2, which made mine elementary. So I would imagine I'm conversational in the next one. Does that make sense? Because I'm not fluent.
Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine I'm conversational. No, limited? I don't know. It's limited or fluent.
Just look at the
Can you
words.
read the words? Do they make sense to you or not?
Do they make sense? They do, in fact, make sense to you. I will say. And if not, you do have an elf with
Orrin
you.
and Julius can't yell at Tony.
Time out. Yes, we can.
All right.
You can yell at Ravi, but you can't yell at Tony.
Upon closer inscription, Inara, we'll say that Inara starts reading this aloud too, in case we're not 100% sure if we can read Elven. It's like a mule. That's a tough one.
Wait, I know that one. That one's that's like a sound. No.
So you read. You read or are read to.
Ooh.
Here lies the tomb of Audrey Windwalker, known as Inara, last of the Vortorim. She, with whispered winds and a gaze into a veiled future, commanded the elves to retreat to their ancestral lands, foretelling a looming darkness that thrives within the kind of shadows. As her tomb holds the echoes of her warnings, mysteries linger. Seek the moonlit grove where shadows dance. Decipher the riddle of the celestial keys, and unravel the enigma of the forgotten runes etched in the starlight. In the cryptic depths, destinies entwine, secrets are dormant, and await those who dare to unveil the whispers hidden in the winds of time.
You definitely couldn't have read all that.
No. She's like, "I'll help you. It's a tough one."
I got Audrey Windwalker.
Audrey Hepburn. It's Audrey. Yes. And as she reads the inscription,
Inara, last of the Vortorim.
a purple light starts emanating from the heart, the chest area of the carving on the statue there, and it just sort of sits there and pulses.
Is my necklace doing anything right now?
Yours is matching this pulse of light that's happening. It's a very similar
But it's underneath your chest.
It is.
Okay.
light, yeah. You can feel it, like
Yeah.
when it vibrates and sort of tunes like a crystal would. You can sort of feel it
like a cell phone. It's
Yeah, no, we've decided it has Find My
it's
Friends.
fine.
Yeah.
It's basically a
no, but when it's
cell
doing
phone
this, like
crystal.
in your arm, or it's just like.
Can they hear it?
No, it's not vibrate. It's not like vibrate mode where you can hear it. Like put your phones on silent, but we can all hear it anyway. You know, like, no, it's not.
Well, and like
So you-
metal armor.
You sort
I
of
would
feel
imagine.
this like just energy, like a slight, yeah, like a small pulse.
Inara, what's happening right there? What is that?
I think this is some kind of test to.
No, we just went through the test.
Well, this must be the final test, the final countdown.
Oh, there's always another exam.
Yeah.
It's just a portion on the chest of the stone relief.
Yeah, it's like something beneath the stone carving here. Something beneath there is like pulsing.
Very
Something like
gingerly,
there's something hidden in there.
gingerly, and not touching anything except for the floor. I'm gonna walk up there to get a better look.
Okay.
I'll walk up next to Ravi.
Okay. You can.
Does
read this.
Inara stop me?
No, she's heading up there with you.
Oh, okay.
She's sort of like reverently approaching the steps up to the bas relief, and she's sort of rubs her hands together and she holds out like she's about to maybe touch it. Yeah. You can feel as you open your hands, there's sort of an energy there that you did not expect. It's not heat necessarily, but it's a warmth of spirit that you can almost feel. You feel it inside your heart. You feel comforted. You feel confident. You feel
Lucky.
maybe, a little lucky at the same time. Like there is some, and that voice that you heard outside the temple is a lot louder now. And it's no longer whispering. And it says you hear your name. It's a louder whisper, but it's a very soft, still voice. And it says, it's Ravi, Orrin, Julius.
But not Inara?
It says Inara too.
Okay.
It says her name.
But
And
we don't-
actually, yeah, you hear a name, but it's not Inara. It's her original name. It's her
Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn. It's not Audrey. It's not.
No,
Audrey.
it is this Inara's birth name.
Yeah, her.
Because Inara is a title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
As far as we know.
Well, I mean, yeah.
yeah. It's so you hear Celine is the name you hear.
Isn't that God?
That's Sarala.
Sarah.
Oh, okay.
Is this, talking to Inara, is this one of the old oracles? Is this the original oracle?
I mean, from the inscription that you just read out, this was the original.
This is the first of my line of oracles. This is the one who created the spirit of the oracle with the power of the true Inara. And I think
who fled during the battle is what it sounded like. Who took all the elves.
she's
to their
the one
homeland?
who
Fled might not be the right
who
word. but-
told the elves to leave the continent. She had her first and greatest, her last prophecy, last and greatest prophecy was that the elves needed to return to their homelands to avoid
Vortorim,
the cataclysm.
which is that thinking of the same thing?
The
five gods.
she was called the last of the Vortorim was another part of this inscription.
Because that's when the 5 gods came down and wiped out the 20 gods.
The Vortorim, I can't remember how much we've revealed about. I don't think you know that the Vortorim were great heroes, and that's really all you know that
Okay.
and that they are somehow related to Vortor and the Vortorim, but Vortor is a singular entity with 5,
And the Vortor.
and the Vortorim are
the
supposedly
20.
5 great heroes. And the Vortorim, because of the acts of the Vortorim, and or maybe Vortor with them, it's a bit unclear at this
Vortor
point.
them.
Like that's what something happened that caused the gods to leave. And then after that, Inara, the now Oracle of Inara, was responsible for the elves departing.
Right.
After the end of the...
And does it sound like she's talking to us right now?
I think her spirit is beckoning to us. I think she wishes to commune.
Do we touch it?
Are we supposed to open it?
I think we touch it.
Together?
Together.
All of us, or
If you
Julius?
will help me.
And Julius too?
If he wishes. All right. As soon as you touch this glowing purple light emanating through solid stone, you are all momentarily disoriented as you sort of feel time and space almost warp around you. The very reality, the fabric of reality is being rearranged as you touch this statue, this light, this energy. And you each find yourselves in kind of a liminal space, just a sort of void. And things are all these things that we'll talk about here are all happening at the same time, but they're happening to each of you in different ways. So we will roll to see who goes first. I'd like everyone to let's each roll a d4, and we'll go in that order. Inara will also roll because she needs to have a 4.
I guess I'm going first.
Ravi's first. 2, 4. All right, so then we'll say she goes third. And we'll end with Julius. Because I tied you, but I was like, we would just roll off for the second and third thing.
Roll 6.
Yes.
Tie.
Same number.
So, Ravi, you find yourself in a very familiar place. You are in the gymnasium at the Citadel Arcanum, where you have spent many hours practicing fencing, and you have learned the intricacies of magical combat, where you've been learned to channel your magic into your physical representation of your weapons, and rapiers being your specialty. And so this is a very common occurrence for you. You are like probably at the end, you find yourself feeling very tired. You're covered in sweat, and you are after a great bout in the gymnasium, slinging spells and pointing swords at people. And you're in full fencing attire with a big wire mask on. You've just scored the winning point of a sparring match between you and who you cannot see your opponent at this point. So I'd like you to roll me an attack check just to see how this has gone. I'll give you advantage on this roll.
Oh.
I power up the attack.
We'll just do a straight attack check right now, unless it's terrible, and then you
Woof.
Great. Power it up. You already have advantage, so that's free.
Grit point? No.
It's not a save.
15.
15? Okay. Great. So this was not the easiest match you've ever had, but you've certainly scored the winning point, and you were able to win this match against your opponent. And he pulls off his mask, and it is, in fact, your father, who was apparently giving a guest fencing lecture as a master fencer himself. And this, you don't recall this ever happening in real life, but this seems, like, in the moment, it seems very normal. Like, I'm sword fighting.
Like in a dream. You're just like,
dream logic. Of course it's dead.
A little bit of dream. He says, well fought, my son, well fought. You will surely do this school proud, and you never cease to amaze me, my boy.
You almost had me, Pops.
A couple of times I definitely had you against almost on the out of bounds line. It's always been my signature move, even when I was a student here at the Citadel. But I must bow to the greater talent, so thank you.
And I am a bit younger.
Well, I'm not as young as I once was, but you can ask any one of my former shipmates that I was quite the force to be reckoned with. In my younger days, now I've hung up my rapier for the diplomat's cloak, I suppose.
Ain't that the truth?
Tell me, Ravi, how are your studies going? You're nearly graduated here at the top of your class, of course, but how do you personally feel about your studies? What interests you? What line of work do you find yourself going in?
Line of work? I don't know. I thought I was just going to party the rest of my days.
I've done my fair share of that as well, my son, but...
Party favors. Pew, pew. I'll be like the Weasley twins.
Yes, just make a magic
magic toy shop. Yeah.
Be like, what father wouldn't be proud of that?
No, that's not what I say. I don't know. I think I feel I like all the magic, all the arms of the magic studies, and I feel more so wanting to go into like experimentation and I don't know, trying to push the limits and create something new.
Something new. It's rather fortuitous that you would bring such a thing up. Have I ever told you of my extracurricular studies, the things in some of my more private libraries?
No, I don't think you have.
Interesting. It hasn't come up, I suppose, but I wanted to take a moment to tell you a bit about some of the things I do at the capital city.
Okay.
As a line of work that perhaps you'd be interested in one day. You will find your own path. I know it. But those who live here in Zarian and visit the capital of Zarian City, there's a lot of different studies that are not necessarily mainstream, that aren't allowed to be just given out to anyone here in the Vortorian Empire. But when you get into the truly deeper studies of the arcane and the overlap between what the church knows to be true and what magic proves to be true are very interesting. And I might...
Yes.
The Divino-Arcanic is something that I have been delving into, and the art of divination through religious means and textual study of the word of Vortor has proven to me to be very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And I would give you a choice. If you are interested in learning about such things, I would offer you, let's say, call it a extracurricular studies. If you're interested, you can study that of the divine, the word of Vortor, and its magical implications, or you can study the more esoteric, magical, non-religious, the arcane. And I would be curious as to what you would seek knowledge in, my son.
And you said that you've studied in the divination of Vortor?
I have, and
That's the path you chose?
I did. I chose to study the religious means behind the arcane, of the way magic works through the power of Vortor.
Are there only two paths?
In this moment,
they don't intertwine?
roll me a. Let's see. I'll give you. You can choose Arcana or Religion.
I don't have to roll? I know, I was thinking of what I would choose.
Well, to gain further insight.
Is this dream state, or is this like I still have a wherewithal of what's happening in my current
this seems
life?
very real to you.
Right, but do I have knowledge of both? Like
that's what this
to me
roll
now?
will be for. How much you can choose to make an awareness check. You can choose to make an Arcana check, or you can make a Religion check. Arcana and Religion would be here in this moment with your father, or an awareness check to put together that this wasn't where I was 5 minutes ago.
That you are hallucinating.
Hallucination. I'll make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Just one. Hey, that's a dirty 20.
A dirty 20.
Correct.
All right. So everything in your mind, everything you've ever studied about magic tells you that there is magic that is just a pure elemental force in the world that isn't colored or intimated or changed at all by the by the divine, like by the divine or the
religious sector,
the occult, anything like that. The magic exists in this world in a way that is a pure force that cannot be changed. And so your dad saying that the divine and arcane mixing in a way that just is counterintuitive to you. So that doesn't seem accurate. That doesn't seem like what he's telling you is at the full truth. In fact,
there are two paths.
Yeah, that by studying the divine you can see into the arcane doesn't jive with every fiber of your being is telling you that what he's into, whatever he's offering you is not true. Is not.
Gotcha. I respect all of what you've taught me and how you've shown me, but I think I would ultimately pick the Arcana. Pops.
Very well. I wish you the best in your continued studies. Know that I'm always here for you, my son. If you have any questions about your arcane studies or your time here at the Citadel. Well, I've got to be off. I'm due at I looked at my wrist for no reason and just had to fly there. And I'm due at the Capitol in a day or two, so I should probably head out. But this was fun. We should fight again sometime.
Yeah, we should do it again. Safe travels, Dad.
Yes. All right, and then you sort of exist back in that liminal space. In the meantime,
this is all happening at the same time.
I just wonder, are there behind Ravi, does it say Darian Atmar state champ 87, state champ 88?
Well, the gymnasium is the Atmar gym. The West Library is named after his grandfather. And
was he a fencing champ though too? I wonder.
He was. That was probably his primary.
Yeah.
He was a C student, but he was probably varsity fencing.
Okay.
I think. Was that accurate of your impression of your dad?
No.
He was okay. He was all right.
My impression is that he didn't fence.
Oh, he didn't fence?
I think he was more he ended up just being decent, subpar C+ student in magic, but was more in the diplomatic sort of.
Yeah.
He wanted to go into being a school administrator.
I'm gonna make an outside check here. So I'm gonna roll a deception, a trickery check for this memory.
For me, or for Orrin?
Yeah, for the creation of this memory. So there are a lot of again, dream logic in this moment. Your dad was a great fencer. He was.
I understand that.
But in reality, you know that once you come back to your senses, you'll be like, wait a minute, my dad didn't fence. He was terrible at fencing. But in that moment, it was very believable that your dad was an excellent fencer.
No, I'm with that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in reality, I don't think he really fenced at all.
No, in reality, we don't. And we don't know that. You don't know that.
You don't know that.
You didn't fight
I'm
me.
here too.
All right, so Orrin was number 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the next one that we saw. Orrin, you are back in your. This is morning roll call at the town guard barracks, and your Captain Janaway, she is calling everybody to. You sort of snap to with attention, and you're. And it says, Cityman Orrinson, front and center.
Damn. Okay. And then I'll front and center.
She sort of looks you over. She's sipping a big black cup of black coffee, and says, "Look at you. You're a disgrace. Can barely fit into this uniform. It's not Muppet Duck." No,
That's true.
she says, "Your uniform is a mess. None of your buttons are shined. How can you defend this city? How can you do your job when you can't even focus on the small things? You and your little rock collection and your silly trinkets. You need to focus more. Drop and give me 20. So she asks you to give her 20 push-ups for your uniform being out of place. So go ahead and roll me a might.
20 times. The DC goes up by 1 each time.
Just a might save. Yeah, let's do some might save.
Grip
18?
point, question mark?
18?
Great. 18. Great. Yeah, you definitely drop and you pop off 20 really quick. And then you stand up. She says, "Get back in line. I've had enough of you today." Ugh. She goes down, dresses down another one of her privates that you know. Yeah, her guardsmen, guards people, and you are given your assignment for the day, and you are off to patrol the rudimentary barricades around the city. I don't think Larian has like a stone wall around it, but it's probably some wooden barricades or some kind of outpost, tower for guard duty and a central gate into the main town. But there's certainly a lot of farms and things around, and that your place is a little further out in the outskirts of things. And you are paired up with a guard that you've not met before. This is one of the like lieutenants, maybe like a higher up officer who walks up to you and sort of just shakes his head a little bit and all right, Orrinson, I guess I'm stuck with you today. We're on wall duty, so we're walking the barricade.
Yes, sir. I don't believe we've met, sir.
It's Lieutenant Chakotay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Lieutenant.
I'm pretty close with the captain, so no funny business today. We got to stay on our best behavior here.
I'm like wearing all my emotions on my face, but like
I can
yes,
see
sir.
your excitement.
Yeah. Let's move out.
Mm-hmm. So you walk around you walk along the top of the wooden and earthen works that surround some of the more defensible parts of the town, and you find yourself later on sort of in conversation with Chakotay, and he ends up sort of getting a little bit of your boredom as well, so he sort of becomes a little more lax in his conversation, and he's saying, Orrinson, I get why the captain doesn't really like you, but I like your style.
Thanks.
You don't give a fuck, do you? You just are here, man, collecting that paycheck.
No, I mean, it couldn't. No, you're wrong, sir. No, not at all, actually. You're not from Para, though, are you? You're not from Larian, are you?
No, I'm an import from a little further north from here.
And what brings you? Why defend Larian? Why are you here?
I'm here as a favor to the captain. Yeah, you know, she needed a strong sword at her side, and said one day I might have to fill in if she had some duties to attend to that might be a little more unsavory. And I tend to do those things without asking too many questions, which is why the captain and I get along so well.
I can take a minute outside of combat to know my enemy.
Okay.
And I just want to, in the minutes and half hour, whatever we've been walking and being lax, like, does it look like this Lieutenant Jacate?
Yeah, Jacate.
Jacate. Sure. Do they have higher, lower, or the same might, agility, physical defense, PDR, hit points? Like, where are they level-wise to me?
Oh,
I know his rank is higher.
Yeah.
But does it seem like he's stronger, faster, better?
In every way possible.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Does it not even take that? It took me a while.
This guy is like, you were thought about like, okay, maybe I could ditch this guy, and you just, without even saying that out loud, he just sort of gives you a look like, I wouldn't try it. You know, that's like,
I was looking at him
you
up
just
and down.
get that. Yeah. You like, tried to size him up, and he's like, I mean, sure, if you wanna, but that without saying a word, you get the impression that this guy is not to be fucked with. And you roll me an investigation check. Yeah, just straight up investigation.
I'm not good at it, but 17.
Oh, 17. This is definitely the guy the captain would have sent if she had gotten the letter and she had someone to pick to send. And this guy doesn't strike you as like a straight up fighter, soldier of any kind. He is like, he's a little too lithe, he's a little too sneaky. He definitely has a little bit of malice and menace about him in a way that like certainly an upstanding soldier would not. And he said, so you sort of are like, okay, this guy there's something else going on here. This guy's not just, you know, a hard ass lieutenant.
So what's the mission, sir?
Our mission today?
No, what's your mission?
Oh, I see you. You want to get right to the point. I get it. I like that. I like that about you, Orrinson. The mission is to be here at this point in time to offer you a choice. And I'm going to offer you that choice without judgment. You can answer however you want. You can do one of two things. You're going to get an opportunity to strike out on your own or to toe the line and maybe drop off something to somebody when they're supposed to have it. Or you can choose to go your own way. I think you know by looking at me which way
I'm going to punch him in the
pick.
face.
Okay. Nice. I will give you an attack roll. Go ahead.
Do I have an awareness that? Do I have the fourth wall awareness?
Roll me an awareness check in this moment in time to sort of see if you can see outside of things.
14.
14. Yeah. In the back of your mind, there's sort of an itching, and it's that same pulse from your necklace that that sort of snaps you out of it. Be like, this isn't real. This is some kind of vision or something. So, are you
punch him in the face.
Punch him in the face and roll an attack. We'll count this as like a surprise round, so you can spend all 4 action points if you would like.
Oh, nice. Yeah. 17 to hit.
Oh, 17 absolutely hits. Needed to beat it.
I don't know sword-wise, but I'm going to power up my punch.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean...
I really pack a punch.
I can use it multiple times, unlike other maneuvers.
Okay. So you're just going to wail on this
I'm going
dude?
to just one punch. I want to punch as hard. I'm punching as hard as I can.
Powered up. You're
so I think because it was a fist, maybe it's just 1.
I think so, probably.
2, 3, 4.
4 points. Okay. Yeah.
You know what? I have stamina points too that I can use.
Yeah, throw those in there. Do it.
So 4,
Haymaker.
5, 6.
5, 6. Okay.
Just while he's talking, I just want to
just be like, he's like, I'm going to offer you a.
Yeah.
You're just like, bam. Excellent. So with 6 points of damage, you cold cock this dude right across the jaw. He goes down like a sack of potatoes. He's a pretty big dude, but he is definitely floored by this punch. He was not expecting it. And you see a very familiar letter fall out of his jacket, his garb, and you are suddenly, that letter is in your hands, and whoosh, you are taken out of your vision. Something happens with Inara, which we will not visit at this moment in time, but she has her own trial to face as well. Next up, we see Julius. You are back on the homestead outside in, where did we say you guys are in? I already forgot. Burdick? Is that where you were in? No.
I was from like Roja?
Yeah, the R word.
Rajo.
Rajo, yeah. You were outside Rajo and on a small village outside a hamlet that your family attends to. Your brother has been at the main temple in Rajo, so he sort of commutes back and forth to the family homestead. And you are sitting by a beautiful river that sort of goes through this rolling, picturesque countryside. You're sitting on a downed tree, an old log that you've sat on many, many times before in reflection. This time you're with your oldest brother, Elihu. Is that right? And you guys have been deep in conversation for several hours, and you sort of wake up in this moment with, as the both of you are laughing at a funny joke that you told to your brother. He said, Julius, you are such a character. You always have your head in the clouds and not enough in your books. I've told you this.
I mean, if you need me to quote you scripture, I'm happy to.
Oh, we
right
could
now.
have a scripture contest, and
are we going to script off?
I've schooled you far too many times, my younger brother, but I do know your heart is in the right place, and you do know your scriptures. Absolutely, I won't begrudge you that, my brother.
Well, we all can't be, chosen preachers.
Oh, I don't know about that. I tend to the flock, and I keep the light of Vortor alive in my heart and in the hearts of our fellows that we have been ordained to minister to. You'll get yours one day. Your assignment will come. I'm sure one day Ecclesiarch Morton will have something immensely important for you to do.
Maybe.
And that's really all any of us can ask for, is to just find that inner light of Vortor brought to us.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
What do you dream of at night?
What do I dream of?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it's simple. I dream of ministrations that I have to attend to. Sometimes I dream about just my day. Sometimes things get really weird. I've had a weird dream about one time I showed up to clerical study in nothing but my undergarments. I didn't have my robes. I didn't have my robes. I know. And I was performing a baptism, and I forgot my underrobe that day too.
What?
I was strange. We were doing the ceremony of the light and suddenly I'm standing in front of the entire congregation in nothing but my skivvies. I didn't have my dress robes on, and I know it was a little bit embarrassing. Sometimes I dream about Vortor. I dream about my own aspirations. I dream about, I don't know, I suppose normal things. What do you dream of, Julius?
Come on. Never had a dream.
Never had a dream. Yeah. I do find that strange. Perhaps one day Vortor will grant you insight. And, have you ever talked with Mother about this? Does she dream? I've never asked her that.
I've never asked her that either. She's always really, really sweet about it.
Mm-hmm.
And she never talks down. She always just comforts me, but I've never asked her if she has dreams. Maybe I should sometime.
Interesting. Yes, you should. I would be interested to know what Mother dreams about as well.
Yeah.
She's always just known the right thing to say. Just like you.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question, Julius?
Shoot.
What do you do when you ponder at the very nature of Vortor? Do you ever doubt what it is we're here to do?
No, I can't say I think about it very often. I mean, we're awfully busy. People seem to need us, and I feel like we make the community better, and I haven't come across anything to cause me to doubt Vortor. What about you?
I will tell you this because you are my brother, and I trust you. But if word ever got to father, or Vortor forbid grandfather, then I don't know how they would take it, but I will tell you this. I do have doubts sometimes that the light of Vortor is obscured from my vision, and I don't understand why. Why would Vortor allow that to be? Why wouldn't he bring his light to us in the clarity of day? Why make us study the scrolls? Why be shrouded in the meeting at Malkay and all the foundations that we know to happen, but everything before that is kept from us? I don't understand. If you were given the choice to find out, would you?
The truth?
If there is a truth.
Well, yeah, I think I would want to know. At the end of the day, wouldn't you? I mean, I forget, and I know I shouldn't bring it up because you're going to tell me where it's from in the book and which scroll it comes from. But
back to the scripture
but
off again.
Wasn't there a parable about Vortor, and he's preaching and he's talking to some folks who don't believe, and he makes a comment about doubt being a part of the process of faith, and that it's only when you go through doubt that you can have true faith. And so I would tell you to find the light in the darkness, brother. And as for me, I would want to know, I think, if I came to that crossroads.
You are right. For what is faith without doubt?
Empty.
I want you to have this. And he holds out his hand, and he's got a little emblem and it's the symbol of Vortor. And you recognize it, but it's a little different than like this one's like made of solid gold and silver inlay. Like it's just beautiful. And he hands it to you, and he says, "Have you ever noticed this?" And he takes it, and you see the symbol of Vortor, and he flips it over in his hands. And then on the back, now it looks, because you're looking at it from the reverse, which you've not done often, but it looks like 5 interjoined rings.
Does it now?
And as you, and he offers it to you. He flips it back over to the Vortor, and he hands it to you.
I take it back over and look at it and like hold it up to the light and just start looking at it from both ways. It's like, I've never looked at the symbol from that side before. Strange.
Some things just depend on your perspective, I guess. And you all snap back to here in the temple, and you find yourself here, and Inara is now, you're all sort of looking around, like, so everything that has happened happened in an instant, almost. You'd all just sort of step back from the purple energy, and you see now in the place of where this purple light was, you all are standing back, and you see a shadowy, like a see-through, floating purple lit woman is sort of standing right here on top of the altar here, sort of coming directly from it, above the chest of where the purple light was coming from. She says, "You have proven yourselves to be true, and so I reveal myself to you. Each of you has been chosen as a representative and touched by one of my brethren. You may each speak to me in turn and ask a question of the one oracle, the first oracle of Inara."